Hey everybody, welcome to episode 25 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. Getting our beta 0.9 career resumed, we'll take a look on the tracking station and get caught up on some news. Now, in previous episodes, we sent ourselves a ship with a lander attached into orbit around Duna, but something happened, and I'm really not sure what it is. The actual spacecraft that was the mothership, basically, has been lost. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if Ike maybe tweaked the orbit and then sent it into a collision course with Duna. Who knows? Basically, it completely vanished. All we have now is the Explorer 1 lander with our scientist on board and a bunch of science. So this lander does not have enough fuel to get itself back home, nor does it have enough fuel, enough capabilities to bring itself back to Kerbal for a nice, safe landing. So we really need to mount ourselves a rescue mission this time. So we're going to go ahead and load up Explorer 1. I'm not even going to do the Let's Build in a separate feature. We're just loading up Explorer 1 as is, ripping it apart and repurposing it for rescue mission. So here we need staging, bonk. We will take this adapter, stick it on here. All these struts probably don't need. At least not in their current configuration. One thing I do want to do with this part of the craft is give it some more fuel. Because this wasn't enough. What we had in here was actually not enough. We had to ditch this stage because it got too wobbly. Although with this staging configuration, it might not be bad. Let's throw, for control purposes, an inline stabilizer right there. Go ahead and free these gimbals. Keep the Rockomax's gimbals locked. Those will be free. This, of course, is the nuclear engine. Okay, so we'll be able to use this for some escape velocity push out of Kerbal, actually. And then this will be orbital operations around Duna once again. A little bit of RCS. I don't need nearly that much RCS. I do know that much. So we'll ditch that and put on just a small bit instead. Like that. There's going to be plenty. Okay, one thing we will do is, since we have the science to spend, we'll go ahead and research a couple of things. Seeing what I want that's really useful. More science. A seismic accelerometer, that could be useful. And more power stuff. Go ahead and spend the funds to grab those. And then see if any of those parts are useful to us. This is actually Explorer 2. You know, that battery pack might be kind of useful. This thing seems to have enough battery underneath there. And, yeah, I never got a chance to recover it. Alright, let's check our staging. Yep, save that. And we're going to just be on our way. Just like this. Off to Duna. So I'll probably just do this launch as a quick little montage on our... Oh, wait a second. One thing I do need to do is actually fast forward time until we have a launch window for Duna. Yeah, we are on the wrong side of the whole thing, so we're going to zoom right around here for a while. Okay, so right about here is our launch window. Congratulations, we're on the daytime. So, whoops. Okay, Explorer 2. And Harney is going to fly this thing. We're going to leave the other one with an empty seat because we're picking somebody up to come back. Looks like it's going to be about 129,000 funds launch. But most of the expensive part of this ship should be recoverable. So anyway, we'll go ahead and montage this launch and encounter with Duna. So hang tight until Duna encounter. Alright, so we're resuming this mission here. We are in Duna's sphere of influence. Let's go ahead and fast forward to this next maneuver, which is to sling by the periapsis of Duna, and get ourselves an Ike periapsis that we can use for establishing an orbit. 27-second burn means we'll do this thing at about 15 seconds to start off with. We're still on the light side, so we can do it from here. Let's go ahead and get this burn going. We're still going to be tracking an escape velocity with respect to Duna, but that's okay. One and 0. There we go. And we'll go ahead and fast forward time really quick to get us into Ike's sphere of influence. There's Ike's sphere of influence, and we'll set ourselves a maneuver to enter orbit. A nice, stable Ike orbit. And warp time until we reach that maneuver. Oh my god, I almost skipped right by it. Okay, we are coming up on that thing. Warp time a little bit here. Once again, in about T minus 15. I'm curious to know what my calculator says. T minus 15. Let's warm up these engines. I'm on the dark side of Ike, so I'll do this on the map, so you guys actually have a little something to see. 345 divided by 1.37 is 251 seconds of fuel, which is 4 minutes. One and zero. Trim out the residuals. And that is good. Okay. We are now in orbit around Ike. It's a little bit of a funky orbit. Now what we can do, save here, switch to the Orbit 1 lander, and in the Orbit 1 lander we can wait till the ship comes around and set ourselves up some kind of rendezvous. Okay, we're going to set this as a target. We still have a bunch of science on board. We should transmit that one. And we should transmit that one. And we should transmit that one. And that one. And that one. Keep that. So we really transmitted all that information already, huh? Alright, I believe you. This guy's not a pilot. That's right. So, up we go. Gear. Aim to the 90-ish. Flip over to map. And punch it. I just hope this thing has enough fuel to really get going. Okay, control from here. Yep, that's right. At least I think it's right. Once we get to the apoapsis, we're burning for a little bit to get ourselves into orbit. And then we'll figure out rendezvous stuff. 13-second burn. We got about 45 seconds worth of fuel probably in this thing, I think. That's my problem. I was in the wrong mode. Okay, we know our fuel's burning asymmetrically because of this maneuver problem we're having. But that's okay. So our periapsis is 15,000. See, I'm actually okay with our periapsis being 15,000. Maybe I'll raise it up to So this guy's orbiting at 20,000. If I go to 18,000 here, then we know that we'll be within 2 kilometers of him. Okay, that's good. At the ascending node, we need to change our plane. Like so. Nice little 5-second burn. So this is just the same as orbital rendezvous and anywhere else. Like we did to go rescue that guy all those missions ago. Just adjusting our plane here. As best we can. Still got 0.5 on the ascending node. 0.1, that will have to do. Okay, now this is our periapsis. Our periapsis is 18,000. When we get to the periapsis, we're going to actually drop our apoapsis also to 18,000. Oh, that was our periapsis. Dang it. Dang it. Oh well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go retrograde. That actually puts us on a pretty good... Whoa, what the hell? The ship's just moving around everywhere without SAS. Okay, now once again at this periapsis. So now we're on the inside track, which means we'll be closing in on this guy slowly but surely. He's at 29 kilometers. At our periapsis, if I go ahead and thrust retrograde, like so, we can now really just sort of keep an eye on that thing and watch until it gets within 2.5 kilometers. So I'll fast forward time until we get to within 2.5 kilometers, and then I'll talk to you guys then. Okay, so here we are at 2.5 kilometers and starting to fly away from this thing. So I've set the orbit ball to target mode, and now we're facing retrograde with respect to the target. We're just going to go ahead and kill our relative velocity, which is not much, and then aim at it and get ourselves going. .20 meters per second is plenty fast enough. For us to close in on Explorer 2. Explorer 2 is coming within 500 meters. Okay, same routine now that we're closer. We face retrograde with respect to the target. Fire up the thrusters to kill our relative velocity. And now that we are within this kind of range, we're going to flip over to docking mode. Bring up the RCS. What I should now be able to do with the RCS is just sort of control ourselves getting nice and close. I want to get within maybe 100 meters at station keeping. Station keeping means that our ship is not moving relative to the target. And then we'll have him EVA, grab all these experiments, and put them on board. If this thing had a docking port on it, we could dock these two, and actually I could rescue some of this fuel. But it doesn't. No big deal. Gotta get myself facing my marker here. And bring us to a stop. Alright, that's good enough. Let's get our scientist out for his EVA. Want to do an EVA report? Sure, we found the Ike's Lowlands. Alright. Climb up here. We will collect this data, remove it. Collect that data. Collect this data. And what else was there? Wasn't there like a temperature scan or something? Ah, yes. That's right. It was over here. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. We're going to leave you in orbit. Actually, we're going to tell you to self-destruct later, but right now you're just going to be left in orbit. Now we get ourselves down to Explorer 2. And get ready to go home with all this stuff. Now, quit being funky, guy. On board he goes. Now, we'll review the data. We can transmit that one. Keeping it, keeping it, keeping it, keeping it. Excellent. Now all we need to do is plot a course back home. And this phase angle is actually pretty good. So we're just going to go ahead and plan an escape velocity burn right about there. Leaving Duna. Set that as target. Actually, what we need to do is this. We need to burn this way. This is going to be weird. We're going to have to do two maneuvers. First maneuver is to get ourselves a nice low periapsis with Duna for a slingshot. Like so. Got a pilot on board so we can actually keep ourselves facing the right direction. Just keep an eye on this actual periapsis. Get it down to where I like it, which is about 55 or 60. Should be good. And then when we're down at the periapsis, we burn for escape. And then the rest we have to fix later. So I'll fast forward time to get us to that Duna escape burn. Our pilot doesn't seem to be piloting, which is weird. Okay, that's an escape velocity burn. That's all I really needed. I'm going to fast forward time until we're out of Duna. Okay, now I need to set myself for a trajectory for home. Just like that. Alright, it's going to take us a while to orbit around there. I'll fast forward that. Alright, we're about 4 minutes away from this maneuver. For some reason, our pilot doesn't seem to be piloting. So I'm going to see what happens if I have him EVA and get back inside. Does he start piloting again? Nope, doesn't seem like it. Weird. I mean, he'll keep us stable, but he's not using his other buttons. Orbit. Right there. It's a bug. Don't know what it's about. Oh well. Get ourselves fast forwarded here to when this burn needs to start off at 45 seconds. So we're about right about now. Nice little minute and a half burn to get us back home. We have plenty of fuel for this. This will set us a Kerbal encounter. Once we get into the Kerbal sphere of influence, we'll go ahead and set ourselves up for re-entry with the recovery portion of the vessel. I wonder if these parachutes are pulling my center of mass off. Anyway, we have ourselves a successful rescue mission. It took us a little bit of time and a few episodes to get all this Duna science. Our game isn't reporting how many funds and stuff we have right now. So I have to see all that when we get back to the Kerbal Space Center. "20 more seconds on this burn. And we'll be looking at a nice encounter with Kerbal, our home planet." Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Okay, the rest of this burn I want to be pretty accurate. There we go. The actuals are looking good, and we have ourselves another half a year to fast forward through, so I'll catch you guys back in a little bit. Alright, we've hit Kerbal's sphere of influence now, so we're just going to go ahead and get this thing set up for re-entry. I know that all I need to do is face face orbit radial or anti-radial. Contract deadline expired. Figured that was going to happen sooner or later. So we'll just bring this periapsis down to 30,000 meters. Which will give us a nice re-entry. There's the moon. Alright, let's get the rest of this tuned up pretty good. "29,000 meters. That is our re-entry attitude. Okay. We have our guys on board. We have our science on board. Everything is ready to collect. We'll go ahead and retract our panels. We don't need them anymore. We have plenty of battery. SAS can be turned off. And these fuel tanks are in fact empty. Just the exterior ones. So this is actually a perfect little Duna ship. Just the exterior ones are there. We have RCS if we need it. Yeah, we are getting rid of those modules and preparing for re-entry into Kerbal. So hang tight. We'll see you guys at re-entry. Alright, here it is. We are coming in at interplanetary speeds. So this re-entry is going to be hot, fast, and long. As you can see, we haven't even gotten down to 30,000 meters yet. But we're burning off an awful lot of speed awfully quickly, so it's going to be no problem. Established in orbit. The ship naturally tends to pull itself up a little bit, which is actually kind of handy. And, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to basically splashdown. Looks like we're going to be sitting down in the ocean over there. So, yep, I'll fast forward to splashdown. Hang tight. And we are coming down for a nice soft landing. Splash. In the water. And we ended up actually going pretty far down range from that re-entry and are pretty close to the Kerbal Space Center. So we'll be able to get some good recovery cash for this little bit of ship that we have left here. And here's what we ended up with. 490 more science earned from recovery of this vessel. 13,000 funds and parts. That's not bad. Crew, both of these guys advanced to level 3 and a whole bunch of reputation. No, we didn't get any reputation from these guys. Really? Interesting. But the main thing is we got the Duna, or at least the Ike mission completed. We'll go ahead and go in here and clean up some stuff really quick. Debris. Terminate that debris. Terminate that debris. The Explorer 1 lander in orbit around Duna is no longer needed. Terminate that. And there we have it. That's going to wrap up this episode. A successful rescue mission completed for a trip to Duna with all of our science. In the next episode, we'll spend it all once again on a couple of nodes and unlock all the parts and then see what other contracts we can get ourselves going here. We're at a point now where we're really trying to save up enough money to get the higher science stuff. The last tier of science tree. So, with 3 million credits, we need a bunch of really lucrative missions to do that. So until then, I'm going to say keep flying and stay shiny. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.